Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss one more case of the overloading and that is related to inheritance. So let's get started. Consider I have one class parent. This is the blank class. I'm not going to put anything inside that class because I just wanted to show you how it is working, how inheritance is working in case of overloading. That's why I'm not going to put anything inside that class. Correct. Similarly, I'm going to create one more class child, and child is going to extend parent. Child is extending parent. Okay. So there is a clearly parent-child relationship between these two classes. Now I'm going to create one more class test. And in this class, I will write a two method, means I'm going to write the overloaded method. So first method is public void m5. Here I am passing the argument of the parent class p and printing this is the parent. Very simple class, nothing else. Now I am going to overload this method. So for overloading, method name must be same and different must and argument must be different. So public void m5. Here I am going to pass the argument of the child class and going to print sop child. Correct. This is the class test. Once again, I am going to reiterate it. This is the class parent. This is class child. Class child is extending parent. So there is a clearly parent-child relationship. And creating one more class test and overloading this method M5. See here, name is same and argument is the different. So clearly I can say that this is the overloaded method. Right. Now I am going to write the main method. Here is a main method. Is string args. Correct. Now I am going to create the object of this class test. Test t is equal to new test. So this t is what type? This t is the test type, and this is the runtime object as well. It is the test type. Now I am going to create the object of parent and child both. So parent p is equal to new parent and child c is equal to new child. Correct. So I have created the object of parent and child as well. Now I am going to call these two methods on a t. So whenever I will do t dot m5 on passing p, okay, and t dot m5 passing c, this object I am passing over here. So clearly what will happen whenever this method is going to be executed, compiler will resolve it and find out, okay, this method is available. So what should be the output? Parent will be print. Here the parent will be print. Output will be the parent. And similarly, in this case, t.m5, the method resolution done and it will be fine. This method is exists. So it will print child. Okay. Now take one more interesting case. Consider parent P1 and new child. Correct. This can be happen easily because parent is the base class and child is the subclass, right? So what will happen? I can assign the object of child into the reference of P1. This can be happen easily, right? Now what will happen if I will call T dot M5 and passing P1? What will happen? If you will remember, I explained about method table. So quickly, if I am going to create the method table for class test here, this is the class test, and I'm going to create the method table. So in method table, if you remember, method table contains only two things, method name and type of argument. So what is the method name? M5. And what is the argument type? Argument type is parent. Similarly, second method as well, M5, and argument type is a child. This is nothing but method table corresponding to test class. And you know that every class is having their own method table. And in overloading, when method resolution is happen at the compile time, right? So at the compile time, method resolution is going to be done. Now, when t.m5 going to be called, t is what type? Test type. And I already explained it is the method resolution is happen on the compile time, right? So T is the test type, T dot M5 passing P1. Here it is considering this P1, right? Reference only, not the actual object. Not the actual object, right? Because it is overloading. Overloading is always happen at the compile time. So at the compile time, this object has not been created, right? So this is the reference. So this reference is going to be passed over here. When method resolution is going to be happen, it will find this method, correct? So that's why when this method will be executed by passing P1, which is actually at the runtime, it will get the object of child, but at the compile time only it is having the reference of the parent type, right? So that's why it is matching to this one, and it will print parent. So guys, this was the very important case for that overloading, and by this video I have covered everything related to overloading, and you have to go through my playlist for that overloading. You will get all the clarification. I have discussed around 5 cases with that combination and permutation of many cases, right? So I requested to you guys, please go through my this overloading playlist. You will get each and everything related to overloading. Thank you very much.